And finally there we have market and industry feasibility.
That is a long story. How do we cut it short? For me, again, the industry research is an important one, understanding not only competitors, but understanding the trends in the industry. I found, my example I often use is, Richard Branson was very good at that, because anybody remembers Virgin Megastores?
Yeah.
We too will, not many of my students do, but they were a store selling, VHS videos, CDs and all of that. And to great surprise for many, he was selling them to Xavi at a point in time where he had identified what downloading of music and films would do to a business like that. So he sold it at a time where he still made a lot of money and went out of it. So his research, he doesn't do it himself, he's got a team to do it, but it's an example of how you have to follow the trends, in that case technological trends in your industry. What's around the corner? What is actually happening? In order to be with your nose there and identify if this is really the right time to enter an industry.
Yeah, because the record industry was quite stuck in its ways, and Virgin was both a record label as well as a store, and he realised the labels were quite stuck. The record stores were morphing as you say, VHS. At one stage, VHS was probably selling more than the CDs. So he's there, but the market, the customer was always going to be there, but they were changing places. So it's always interesting when you look at industries like the record industry, and you look at the market. There's always going to be people wanting music.
Yes.
However, the industry just couldn't cope with the change, and it's trying to figure out how those two marry with any startup.
Exactly.
Where is that sweet spot?
And that's why I put industry and market analysis together, because you need to understand if the industry is changing, is it just the distribution channel changing or the vehicle for transporting music? And how can you react to that? Because everybody still loves music and will love music and films forever, most likely. And therefore, you still have a market, but you need to understand then what vehicle you can serve the market with, and therefore identify that it wasn't, at that point in time, late 90s, wouldn't be these vehicles, CDs, videos for much longer. And I think that's the important bit, to read industry reports, to find out what are trends for the next 5 to 10 years. Because you hopefully want to make money beyond just a small window, but not closing the window. Sometimes if you can identify there is only a small window, like the little loom bracelets, it was a small window, and if you want to go in there, but you need to be clear how big the window is and then make an informed decision and then see, well, who's going to buy it? Is this a fashion which is gone, or is it something that's a longer trend, so people will for the next 5 to 10 years be interested in some form of product? Whereas music, we love forever, and we will listen to music and watch films.
I think the other interesting thing there is when you analyse an industry, you can actually take a lot of the operational information away from an industry as well, so that can feed into the operations. So if you look at maybe the airline industry where Richard Branson ended up, each airline is run almost identically because of safety, because of passenger quality and all those things. So when you analyse the airline industry, you can literally take the way that industry works and stick it into your operational manual, the operational part of your business plan. So that's the interesting thing when you analyse the industry. It's not just analyse the trends, but also how does it actually work. And then the other thing is the market is analysing what it is that customer wants. And we talked in the previous video about where you do the research 3 times and going around that loop. They really get to the crux of what it is this customer wants and make sure you're providing a real solution for the problem that they have.
Absolutely agree, because part of this 3-loop research is to really understand how and where the product or service fits into the customer's lives. And the market research is also about finding out how much actually is the customer willing to spend time and effort on using that product or service. And it's also about very much identifying in the market research what trends are there in buying behavior. You do a snapshot at a certain point in time, but can you find out about buying behaviour in a particular market for a particular product, if that's available, how it was used, bought in the past, and what projections are there that this will remain the same. And that's important, otherwise, unfortunately, it might just go pear-shaped.
Okay. Right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll leave it there. Bye-bye.